Empowered humanity theory is a framework of three attitudes and pathways of practice that lead to personal and communal empowerment. The theory behind it is, if applied on a societal level, humankind will be empowered in the ways that we've always sought. In this lesson, we'll discuss the attitude of a valued-centered identity and strengthen it by engaging in practices that build awareness and equanimity. Think about if you were able to cultivate a positive attitude towards perceived stress, decrease overthinking, ruminating, and worrying in thought patterns, resist distractions to make logical choices, reduce emotions that have a negative connotation, enhance emotional intelligence, enhance insightful problem solving, and shrink the amygdala and loosen its connection between it and the rest of the brain. These are all skills that can be developed. What we know about neuroplasticity is that with intention, effort, and practice, we can learn new skills. Now take a few minutes, or as long as you need, to either draw, paint, maybe make a collage, thinking about what would your world look like if you strengthened each of these skills. Feel free to pause the video and take as long as you'd like. Later, we'll explore some practices that strengthen these skills. But first, we need to find our true north starting point, and that is you, and getting you oriented with your true north. And by that, I mean identifying the core values that guide how you navigate your daily life experience. A key to empowerment comes from feeling like a whole, complete, and valued person. This can be accomplished by establishing a valued-centered identity. Developing the empowered humanity theory attitude of a valued-centered identity is a pathway to empowerment. Let's do a value setting exercise so that you'll have the foundation for your valued-centered identity. Take a moment to glance through the words on the screen and identify 10 values that are important to you. If you'd like to print a copy, refer to the notes section of this video. If there is a value that's important to you that's not listed, please include it or them. After you identify 10, narrow that list down to 5, and then narrow that list down to 3. When you think and behave in accordance to your values, you're engaging from your core self, and through awareness, you can better hold yourself accountable in ways that can be profoundly beneficial to you and others. The value-centered identity attitude is strengthened by frequently engaging in practices that build awareness and equanimity. Feel free to pause the video for as long as you need. Some basic awareness practices include intentional reflection and the ability to pause and reflect in the moment. Here are some simple awareness practices to help you strengthen the value-centered attitude. You can ask yourself, in this moment, is my thinking aligned with my core values? And in this moment, are my behaviors aligned with my core values? If not, where and how can I shift? What value is important and helpful to me right now? What value is challenging to hold in this moment? Is or are there new values to consider? Frequently ask yourself these questions throughout the day. Awareness is gaining insight into ourselves and others. Through awareness, we can shift our thinking and behaviors in the direction that best serves us and our community. Equanimity is a skill that helps us gain insight even when things seem chaotic. Equanimity can be described as seeking the calm in the storm or the ability to observe things as they are happening without reacting to or judging them as either good or bad. Here's a simple practice that builds equanimity. Here's a simple practice that helps build equanimity. Hold your left hand out, palm up, and raise it up towards your right shoulder and let it gently rest on your clavicle. Bring your arm across your body and just gently relax it on your clavicle. And just simply notice how you feel in this moment. This simple act helps our bodies find calm and regulation when we need it most. Remember this from the previous lesson? Intentionally pausing and taking one or more breaths and observing your thoughts without judgment is a practice that builds awareness and equanimity. Now direct your attention to the purple and pink and red icon and take a deep breath with an inhale to the count of 4 and the exhale to the count of 8. Now notice any thoughts or physical sensations. Take note of and set an intention if something popped up that you would like to tend to. This is a simple practice that builds awareness and equanimity. Remember these bullets? These are the skills that are strengthened by engaging in practices that build awareness and equanimity. The more you engage in these practices, the more your life will resemble your drawing, painting, or collage that you did earlier. Now take a moment to think about practices that build awareness and equanimity. Remember, awareness is gaining insight into yourself and others, and equanimity is calmness, especially during tense and challenging situations. Now think of and write down a few examples of practices that build awareness and equanimity, and then identify when, where, and how you can practice them over the coming days and weeks. Thinking about how we become what we practice, see how many times in a given day you can engage in practices that build awareness and equanimity and center your chosen values. Over time, these practices will develop and fortify the pathways to empowerment. Feel free to pause the video and take as long as you need. We'll close with a quote from S.N. Goyenka. The bird of wisdom needs 2 things to fly. They are awareness and equanimity. Gaining insight into ourselves, others, and the world around us helps us to choose thoughts and behaviors that best serve us and our communities, rather than respond with predictable evolutionary determinants. Go forward, be great, and be well.